Hello, here we are, Sunday Live. I've made it, and I'm absolutely astonished because we keep getting those mad storms. We've had another one today. It's absolutely filthy weather. I went down to the shops about 2.5 miles from here, and it was a really hard drive. You know, everything was like dark, and there's huge amounts of water falling out of the sky. But hell, we've made it. I'm always a bit worried when it's like that the internet will go off, because it does sometimes. But here we are, 9 o'clock on a Sunday, and I am actually here with you, and I see you're here with me, which is great. Cat Mama Meow, meowdy to you. Beverly Spencer is here. My day did indeed go pretty well, thank you, and I hope yours did too. So great stuff. Sharon Lee is here. This also is very good news. Christina Alvarez is with us, and Kate Mitho is here as well. Great to see you, Kate. I hope things are going well in your part of the world. I hope your weather is rather better than ours is. Now then, before I do anything, well, I've been telling you about this video of Tinkerbell and Marcy when they were tiny kittens, and this video is from when they were about 6 weeks old, which was before I got them. So they're still at their mum's house here. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to hold it up to the camera there. There they are fighting away. And there's their brother Ollie, and they ambush him. So watch that again. Look at them go. Mad little kittens. And they're so much bigger than that now. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. But they're great fun. I love that video. I'm so glad it's there. I've been trying to capture it so I could put it in like full screen into a big video. But it's on Facebook and it won't come off Facebook. But that's cool because we've seen it now. Shari H is in the place. Hello to you. Great stuff. Beverly says, where I live this last week, having heavy winds, lost electric yesterday for a while. Oh dear. Yeah, things are really kind of bad when you lose electricity. You suddenly realise, don't you, Beverly, how much we all depend on it. You know, it always shocks me. We almost lost the water the other day. I got an email from Welsh Water apologising that the supply had been cut off because of something to do with the storms, had blocked a drain or something, and my tap still worked, so I was truly blessed with that one. Go away with it. They are so cute, says Sharon Lee. Yeah, and you're very welcome. I'm very glad to show you that. And yeah, oh, how cute, Cat Mama. In fact, you know what, before we go any further, let's have another look. There we go. And they're real spiritual cats as well. They were born while Sammy, whose cats they were, whose kittens they were before she gave them to me, they were born while Sammy and I were in a church in North Wales conducting a spiritualist service. And that was the 11th of April. That's when it was. 2017, they're 4 years old now already. Okay, let's start off then with a card for absolutely everyone. We've got a big week coming up, actually. There's a full moon and an eclipse at the same time coming up on the 26th. And then on the 29th, which is like 6 days away now, Mercury retrograde starts in Gemini. So isn't that going to be wacky? Here is a very interesting card considering that. This says surrender, and it's Archangel Azrael. And there is the dove flying up into the sunlight in between the trees there. And surrender is really where it's going to be at next week, because the forces involved with a full moon lunar eclipse, and it's in Sagittarius, and actually going into Mercury retrograde proper as well. They're big forces. It's not something we can do anything about, you know. And I often say to people, if you can find a clever way of getting through Mercury retrograde without learning any lessons, then you'll just get the lessons some other time, so you might as well go with the flow. So surrender to it, guys. That is very much where it's at. So, right, let's get cracking. Let's get cracking with your comments. By the way, hi to everyone who's not on the chat, who's watching the replay, or who's just not on the chat at the moment. Great to have you with us, and your energy, I can feel your energy. It's good energy, and it's great to have you along. Let's just take a look at this one. From Shari H, reading update. I asked for a reading a couple of weeks ago to find a new place to live, and it looks like several possibilities have opened up where there were none last week. Brilliant. This is how it goes, Shari, and I would say this to everyone, actually. You know, it's always the energy of the moment. It really is, and it's a crazy thing. But when you need cosmic influences to come in and help you, they will come in when the energy is peaking out, which unfortunately tends to mean when it's the most worrying, you know. So always the enemy is worry, you know. Worrying is not good. It stresses you out, and something will always turn up, guys. Something will always turn up. It really will, you know. So Daniel Bart, I can't pronounce your name, my friend, but hello to you in Michigan, and thanks for joining us. Julie M is here. Good evening to you, and to all the Twig fans. Wow, I've got fans. Absolutely amazed to think that I've got fans, but this is what happens, you know. You keep doing the YouTube thing, and this actually proves the interconnectedness of all things and all people, really, because you come on YouTube, and I'm sure there's a lot of people I don't appeal to. I didn't think I would appeal to as many people. I think I got 1,888 subscribers at the moment, which is a good number, actually. But do subscribe if you haven't already. 1,889 is no bad thing, believe me. But you just find people that you're in tune with and in sync with. And if you ever feel lonely in the world, just bear that in mind, you know. Like the old B-52 song said, if you're in outer space, don't feel out of place, because there are thousands of others like you. That really are. So Daisy D is here, Kerry Gibson is here. Great to see all you guys. I'm just doing some scrolling now. I've got my secret weapon, the optical mouse, to scroll quicker. I saw a question and I've missed it. Here we go. Christina Alvarez. Hi, Andy. Will Ivan and I be living together in the next 3 months? Well, I certainly hope so, because I think you'd like to be, wouldn't you? Which is, yeah, it's always good to have aspirations. I think it's going to be very last minute when it comes together for you, Christina. Okay, like I was saying, it's always the energy of the moment, and it's very often when things feel totally hopeless that something turns up and something happens. And I think it's going to be later on in the next 3 months, to be quite honest. But I do see it happening. Okay, card for you on that. We have got the Hierophant, or the Hierophant, and rather different to the traditional tarot card for that, because this is tarot in Wonderland and everything is super magical. But there is the grinning Cheshire cat in the tree, and that is Alice's higher self, and she's consulting her higher self. And I think if you tune into your higher self, Christina, I think you'll actually see the reasons why this is going to happen and why it's going to work. Okay, you have to work at relationships, it's true, but they have to start somewhere, and I see that yours is going to be starting. And another card's come out here, which is the Hanged Man, which what's that, number 12 in the major arcana, and that says to me two things, right? One, both of those cards are major arcana, so there is a lot of power behind what I'm saying here, for sure. And the other thing is, you know, things are hanging about, the situation's hanging about. Sooner or later, Christine, it's going to get its boots on and things are going to start happening. Okay, so I'll give you that with the love of the cards and the angels and everyone who's gathered around here. So Beverly, with heavy heart, I am asking for healing light prayers sent to my grandson, Jay. He has been abused in the adopted home, including other children living in the home. Oh dear. That's an awful thought, isn't it? And yeah, that gives me some heaviness in my heart. I'm sure it does all of us. So guys, yeah, let's send out some healing to Beverly. And you know, this is it. Let's send it to Beverly's grandson for sure, but let's send that healing to Beverly as well, because that is a very heavy thing to have to carry in your heart. And you know, sounds like bad times. But let's just randomly pull a card and see what actually comes out here. Well, we've got the Knight of Wands, so there's going to be some progress with that, Beverly. Things are going to move on. Things are going to get happening. Look how fast that horse is moving. And the Wands are very much all about getting things done. Okay, so the cards would suggest that something's going to get done about that. But we will hold you in our prayers, Beverly. We really will. And I hope that your grandson, Jay, is going to be okay. Sooner or later, he's going to be fine. Okay. hang on to that thought. So important to try and stay positive. But, you know, love and light to you and to him and to you. Important to send it to you too, because that hurts when you know that kind of thing is going on. Lena, someone else, I can't pronounce their name, but Lena says, hello, everyone. This Lena, the Lena with that name I can't pronounce. Hello to you. I'm so glad you have joined us. So, Katmar, right. Claudia, if my memory serves me well. Hi, Andy. I have a question. What can you tell me about my biological father? Woo, right. Okay. Well, I'll do my best. I will do my best. And this isn't really a card question at this point. I might use some cards at some point. A voice in my head tells me that he was a musical kind of a person. And one of the reasons he was musical is he had quite powerful emotions. And I'm speaking past tense, that had quite powerful emotions. I don't feel he's departed this life. I feel he's still around somewhere. But strong emotions in the past. And he will have calmed down a lot by now. I guess you would probably want to get in touch with him at some point, you know. That's something that, you know, whatever feelings we have, we can't help wondering, we can't help wanting to know. And I actually feel that he regrets not being around you for whatever reason. And you would know more about that than me. You really would, Claudia. But there's definitely some regret there. But if you'd like to get in touch with him, okay, send your thoughts out, because I've just turned a card over and it's the Queen of Pentacles, which is very, very positive. And it also suggests that you can kind of reach out and get, ultimately, eventually, with time, get the thing that you actually crave, that you actually desire. And it sounds like it would be really good for you two to have a talk. Something about Michigan, right? There is the word Michigan is right above what you've typed in the chat from someone else there, but there's something significant about Michigan. I feel he's in the Michigan area, or at least he's been there, but he's definitely got a link to the Michigan area. I'm sure of that. That's about all I've got, okay? But if anything else comes to me, I will certainly say so. I'm going to do one more card on that, actually. It's come to me to do that. Yeah, 9 of Pentacles. So in this case, things have gone well for him, but he does regret leaving someone important behind, and I guess that is you. I guess that is you. I've also got to say that, you know, whatever it was, whatever reason you're not together, it's absolutely not your fault, you know. And you're saying, I really kind of don't want to meet him in person, but you sort of do too for medical history. Yeah, you know, that link is a real link. You know, we are sent into each other's lives cosmically, and it's you know, it's really, really weird when something like that happens, and it, you know, it doesn't work out. Put it that way. I can even think of times in my own life when I've just got much further away from my family than would have been good. So I'll give you that with the love of spirit, Claudia, and I wish you the very best with that. You know, I do feel if you want to meet him, you know, psychically reach out, put it out there, put the violet flame round it, visualize it, believe it, and somehow you'll get to know. I do feel he is still earth plane, though. I do feel he is still with us on this planet, so to speak. So I'm going to move on, and it's Christy E. Hi to you. Hi, Andy and chatters. Curiously, my clocks stopped working several weeks ago and have now started on their own with correct time. Was that a message from Spirit? I feel they had a hand in it, right? I feel they had a hand in it. Yeah, it's someone in your family in the spirit world looking to... See, sometimes they want to contact us and they have to do something to get our attention. Now, Christy, can I ask you, right, just before they started working, was that the time when you thought maybe this is spirit and then they started working again? Because usually what happens when spirit are trying to make contact with us, as soon as we actually acknowledge that it's them, in our heart and realize that, even just realize that it might be them, usually whatever they're doing kind of comes to an end. They stop putting that energy into trying to get in touch. The thing to do is watch your dreams, Christy, okay, because that's a very powerful way they communicate with us. Have you been dreaming about somewhere, a home you visited a lot in childhood? I don't feel this is parents. I feel this is uncle, maybe great uncle, kind of grandfather-ish energy that I'm seeing here. I feel it's a male family member, grandfather or uncle, most certainly. I hope I'm right there, but I do feel it was spiritual. You know, it's amazing what they'll do to get our attention, really, whatever they can do, you know. And clocks are something that, you know, they have a very delicate mechanism, or they're running off quartz, but in either case it is very delicate and doesn't take much energy to interfere with it. And spirit don't have they don't have any physical energy. They have to use whatever comes to them along the way when they're trying to contact you, you know. Okay, so let's keep going. You're very welcome, Christy. She says, thank you so much. Hi, Wicked Fairy. Hi, Lisa, Erin's son. Hi, Jeanette Valencia Gaber. Great to see you with us. Great to see all these people. Loads of people on. This is brilliant. This is what we need. Loads of people. This is what it's all about. Let's go to Lena at this point. My mum passed in October. So sorry to hear that. That's a very hard time when you lose your mother. Is she around me? I'm upset. I can't communicate. Right, I feel that she, in some way, it was difficult for her to communicate with you, actually, Lena. There's almost a sense of regret, actually, but it's not just communication. Somehow she couldn't be as close as she would have liked to have been, you know. There were circumstances of some sort that got in the way, and she'd had experiences earlier in her own life which made it quite difficult to bond. But I feel there was a bond, and I feel there was a strong bond. But it's just a feeling that there was always a little bit of separation in there, you know, and that makes it all the more difficult to bear and to take, to be quite honest. But she was around you at Christmas, and I feel there would have been a sign, and you might have wondered, was that her sending you the sign? And yes, she was around you at Christmas time, absolutely, for sure. And feels like this was in your family home, and I want to say family home. I don't know if you live on your own, but I feel this was a family home kind of situation, and she was around you, and she was aware that you were sending her thoughts out as well. And she tells me it's a long road getting over these things, Lena, but if you can find a place in your heart, which I'm sure you can, actually, and just kind of always be aware that she will always live in that place in your heart, then you will become more and more comfortable with the fact that she will actually never leave you, because our loved ones on the other side never actually do leave us. Yeah. So I hope that helps. There's so little I can say, but you know, yeah, she is definitely still around you, right? They really never leave us. What happens is the soul has a very heavy vibration when it's in the human body. Once the body passes away and the soul leaves the body, it goes to a much higher vibrational rate, and it's like a dog whistle. You know, it's so high pitched you can't hear it because the sound vibration is so high. So it is with the soul vibration. Once it leaves the body, you can't see it anymore with your eyes open, because it's very much higher vibration than any of the colors or anything we can see with our everyday eyes. But they are still close. They never actually leave us. They really don't. And I've seen lots of evidence of that in my life as a medium, and in my life generally. And just keep believing, Lena. Okay, keep believing, because she is close, you know. Just because they always are, you know. Even if I'd heard nothing from her, I would still say she's close, because they always are. So I wish you all the best with that, you know. And don't feel you've got to rush to kind of get over the thing. It's not, you know, it's not like we're always told in this world we've got to kind of rush to get over things and keep moving on. It's really not like that when you lose a family member. You know, give it all the time it needs, okay? But do try and relax, because she isn't far from you. I'm sure she isn't far from you, Lena. And thanks very much for your question. Thanks very much for that question. Okay. So, oh yeah, if you'd like a reading, as Lisa says, if you would like a personal reading, please email me at that email address, which is going across your screen at this very moment. Where is it? Where's my finger? There we go. And also there is the address for the webpage, coffee.com/twig, where you can see various pictures of my life taken when the weather was a bit better. Actually, it hasn't been very photogenic lately, but you can see those pictures. And you can buy me a coffee, or buy the channel a coffee if you would like to. That, my friends, would be very, very gratefully appreciated. It really would. Okay. So now then. This is an intriguing one. I want to do this. Jeanette Valencia Gaber. Hope I've pronounced that right at least once. Can you describe my spiritual growth? I will certainly try. Now then, let me think. Let me see. Right. I actually feel that you are growing quite strongly, Jeanette, but I think you'd grow even more strongly if you took your eyes off the past. Okay, there's things happened in the past. May have been good things, may have been bad things. I'm not saying that either way, but part of your heart keeps looking back to the past for answers. And really the answers are, they're not down here at all. The answers are up there. You've got to look up for the answers, and you've got to keep looking forward for the spiritual growth to really, really take off. So I think that your spiritual growth would actually accelerate quite a lot if you just stop thinking about the past, because the past is old news. There's a lot of good lessons in the past for all of us. There's a lot of love in the past for all of us. You need to keep the lessons and the love, but accept that the past is old news and keep moving forward. Okay, you do have a lot of positive possibilities ahead of you at the moment, and if you could just kind of be as forward looking as you possibly can be, Jeanette, then you're going to find things moving on a lot better. You really are. Okay, there's a great deal of spiritual energy around you. I think you're actually aware of spirit guides as well. Yeah, and don't worry if you're not aware of who they are, or if you're not like physically seeing them. These things take time. You know, people sometimes ask me what is the name of my guide, and you know, you will always know when the time is right. They will reveal themselves to you more and more as you go along. So, you know, yeah, I wish you the best with that, Jeanette. I really do. Thanks very much for that question. And if there's ever anything I can do to help, you know, drop me an email, or, you know, come on the chat and ask. I'm always happy to help. I have run development circles of my own. I would be running one now if it wasn't for the pandemic going on, believe me. But not right this minute, because this is YouTube time. But, you know, I'd be doing one every week, because that's what I do. Anyway, you're very welcome. And thanks for that question. Okay. Yeah, Julie, yes. And everyone, I go kind of where spirit directs me, because anyone who's going to get a question answered has got spirit guides around me, and I don't know how they work it out, but somehow there's a moment when the energy is bang on, and then I'll get drawn to your question right then. Okay, now then, Julianne, here we go. Will my retirement be financially secured before September 2021 or December 2021? Oh, well, September is significant, Julie. September is definitely significant in that, and you will, the worries will be falling away in September. I don't know that it's going to take right the way through until December for things actually to settle and for you to have that security. I feel that's somewhere between September and December. Later, maybe sometime November, you know. Maybe late October, maybe mid-November, that kind of time frame, you know. But I do feel, I want to say, you have nothing much to worry about there, you know. I feel you can just relax in your heart about that. I don't blame you that you can't just easily relax about that. Financial security is a very big concern for absolutely everyone living. Been talking to my daughter about that today, actually, and it kind of bothers me as well. It really does, and it probably shouldn't. But I've really got this strong feeling that things are going to be okay. Like I often say to people, Julie, if things have gone wrong around financial security in the past, don't let that be a worry now, okay? The past is the past, really, okay? But yeah, I'm thinking November for you to really know, but I think you'll know more in September. In September, you'll feel like you're going to be secure because you'll have information there that will lead you closer to the answers you seek. But thanks for your question, Julie, and thanks for supporting the channel. You've been supporting me a good while, and I really appreciate it. So thanks ever so much for that. Okay, coming to Cat Shepherd now. Hello, Cat Shepherd. I too am a cat shepherd. Neither of my cats is in the room at the moment, but they may appear. They do appear in the videos. Sometimes they jump up on the bed beside me, and you can see their tails moving around. So, Cat Shepherd, my mother died. Sorry to hear that. And our house was sold last year. I've been waiting for my inheritance for a whole year. Will it come this year? Right, I'm going to check with the pendulum, but I think that's a yes that it'll come this year. I've got an inkling that there's a reason that it should have come already, and there's a reason why it hasn't. Well, let's just get a yes or no for if it's going to come this year. Okay, this pendulum does a circular motion for yes, back and forth or side to side for no. And it's giving me a circle. It's giving me a circle. It's a pretty good circle, okay? How quickly depends on the size of the circle usually. Drop my mouse, excuse me. I think it's going to be a little while, but I think within a matter of a couple of months, you know, you're going to get the news about that. And I do feel it is actually going to happen this year. Now then, there's your mum in the spirit world, and there are other people in the spirit world, and they are giving me a distinct feeling that someone didn't do their job properly somewhere around the will or what. I don't know exactly what's gone down, but someone needed to get their finger out, and it might have been because of the pandemic that they didn't get their finger out, which is a British way of saying getting their ass in gear, you know. Someone just didn't put the amount of effort into this that they should have done. Not on a personal level. This is like a solicitor or something to do with probate or something, you know, but it's on its way. It's going to be sorted. It's going to be sorted. So sorry for the loss of your mum, though, Cat Shepherd, and thanks for your question. Love and light to you and all the very best. Wicked Fairy keeps asking, Andy, does the Taurus guy use my pictures? Wow. That's so naughty a thing to say, to be quite honest, right? I got absolutely no idea. Let me just kind of see if I can tune in if I can. Right. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. Okay. And when he does, he feels guilty about it. Right. That's all I'm going to say on that. Sorry, I can't go deeper, but, you know, this is a family show, so to speak. I know most of us are ancient, but it's a family show. That's where it's all about. That's what it's all about. That's where it's at. Oh, okay. Thank you, Andy. That time frame's helpful. Thank you, Julie. I'm glad to know it helps. Hi, Kathy Sandoval. Glad you could join us from Laramie, Wyoming. There used to be a TV show called Laramie that showed in UK. Yeah, good days. Right, Lil Baddie. Let's come to Lil Baddie. Hi, Twig Brother. Hi, Lil Baddie. Will I be in a committed relationship with the guy I'm seeing now? Okay. I think that's a good pendulum one, that. And then whatever the pendulum says, we'll do a card to add to the intrigue. Or hopefully break down the intrigue. That's the wrong way to put it. But we'll do a card to get some more information. Okay. Very small circle, right? What I'm feeling is that yes, right, because the pendulum said yes, but it's a very small circle. There wasn't much energy behind it. I think ultimately you're going to move on, and I think you're going to realize that you might be better off with someone else, and I think you're going to move on. I do see you in the driving seat on that, though. You know, I don't think that's him leaving you or anything like that. I think that's just you realizing you want things to change. What we've got for you by way of a card is the Two of Wands, and this means progress, right? So what's going on with the guy you're seeing now is definitely a part of your life plan, and is definitely valid, and there is something going on there in a big way, and it is moving forward. I just got the feeling that it's kind of, it's not a road to nowhere, but it's not a road to where you totally want to end up at the end of your days. You know, I don't think this is the guy you're going to end your days with, quite honestly. So I hope that helps. I really hope that helps. And, you know, best of luck with it. Hello, Philip Corrigan, raining in Bradford, Yorkshire. I'm not surprised. Yeah, it's not actually raining here right this second, but it's been raining so much that I said right at the top of the show, actually, I'm really amazed that I managed to get on tonight. I didn't think I'd be able to. Lisa says, wicked fairy is wicked today. Lol. Well, what's the point of being a wicked fairy if you can't be wicked? Julia Tellis, new subscriber. Well, God bless you. Thank you so much for that. Much appreciated. And if any of you guys haven't subscribed yet, please hit the old subscribe button, because it helps the channel no end. It really, really does. And I still haven't monetized. I'm still jumping through hoops there, but I'm trying to get there. I notice YouTube don't promote my videos all that much now, because I could monetize and I haven't. So they're not getting loads of money from adverts from me. But what can you do? Got to take my time. It'll happen when the time is right. Julia, I applied for a TV show process, and then I am waiting the answer. I would like to know if they already saw my content. Okay, let's switch pendulums and come to a pendulum with bags of new energy in, because I haven't used this for a good few days now. And we'll just go for a yes or a no on this one, and we'll see if we can go deeper. Sometimes we can. Right. Yes, they have, Julia. It's giving me a circle. There's a hold up, and I believe, again, it's the pandemic, right? I think this would be moving faster if it wasn't for the pandemic situation, to be honest. I think you're going to hear something fairly soon. Let's do a work your light card on that one. Okay, pull a card and see if we can see a bit more of what's going on. Daisy D, you most certainly can have a card, my friend. I will come to you. I will come to you. But yeah, let's do a card for Julia. Oh, I've said your name right, but I think that's the Italian spelling of Julia. Or maybe it's Hispanic, I don't know, but that just looks so much like Julia. My mother had an Alfa Romeo car called a Giulietta, and it was spelt a lot like that. Right, okay, yeah, great. This is a positive card, The Great Gathering. It says, it's all coming together, intuitive hits, soul tribe. See that? That's what's written on the card I've pulled for you, Julia. So it is all coming together, all right? And see all these people standing around in purple. This is telling me that more people have actually seen your application than just a handful, you know? That there are quite a few people interested in you, you know? And it feels fairly successful to me as well. It feels like it's going to take a while, but there is a definite feeling of success about that. So best of luck from all of us, actually, on the chat. I'm sure we all wish you well with that. And, you know, I hope that really turns out good for you. As Twainer says, everyone, don't forget to hit the like button. Those thumbs up really help. They really help, as do the likes and the subscriptions. Well, they are likes, but the subscriptions help as well. Evening, Twainer. In fact, afternoon, Twainer, because it's afternoon where you are. Great to have you with us. Thanks so much for joining us. Sharon Lee says, good luck. Julia Tellez, I write. Do you write too? Great stuff, great stuff. Right, okay. I did say, yes, Daisy D, you can have a card. So let's do that now. Let's do that now. Let's see what happens. Reached for the tarot. My hand instinctively reaches for whatever is the deck to use. And you're going to get 2 cards because I'm being told not just to do a tarot card, but to do an oracle card for you as well. Oh, 9 of Swords. Lots going on, Daisy. Lots of tangled up stuff going on, and it's very difficult for you to know how to go about sorting things out because there are so many, hiccups. There are so many different things that need to be sorted out. The answer is each one of those swords on the card represents something you need to sort out in your life. You don't have to sort out all 9 at once. The thing to do is take down 1 sword off the wall at a time, okay? Solve that one, and then there's only 8 problems to solve. Solve another one, there's only 7. So, and as the number goes down, the whole situation gets less complicated. So it's baby steps to start with, Daisy, but don't ignore it, okay? Don't ignore whatever might be bothering you, even though it might be hard to pin down exactly what it is, because I can see there's a lot going on. Baby steps, one little thing at a time, and the whole picture will slowly but surely work itself out, and things will get easier to understand and to deal with. Thanks so much for your question. We are now with Alea Phoenix. Okay. Let's go with Alea Phoenix. Good afternoon, Andy. Good afternoon to you, and thanks for coming in. What specifically is coming in between my boyfriend and me in the next 3 months? Wow. All right. Specifically, it's a difficult one. It's a very that's the kind of I could be more specific in a face-to-face reading without the internet in the way, you know, and that's just we're in different parts of the world, so that's unfortunately not going to happen. But I think, right, what's happening is one or both of you is having to walk on eggshells. Okay, I brought up the King of Swords. It's another sword card, and the swords are all about kind of mental concerns, decisions, big decisions that have to be made. And I feel you're having to be so careful around him that it's actually stopping you really from being yourself. And it seems crazy when that happens in a relationship, doesn't it? Because, you know, people are drawn together because there's some energy that actually draws them in together. I keep losing the picture on the screen. I hope I'm still live, by the way. Looks like I am. It says 37, 23, 24, 25. The clock's still ticking. Okay, but I really feel, yeah, walking on eggshells. And I think that's going to be difficult, Alea. And I think you need to somehow put your foot down. I don't, you know, you've got to gauge the best way to do it. Maybe if you stamp your foot down hard, maybe if you come down hard sticking up for yourself, maybe that's not the best way to do it, but do stand up for yourself, okay, because you are important as well. And you know, I was specifically asking about the next 3 months there. So that seems to be what it's about. I'm just not being specific about exactly what the situation is, but there's a definite feeling of walking on eggshells, and there's also a feeling, right, that you're missing out, Alea, because you're not actually able to follow your own path and follow your own heart as much as you would like to. You've got to judge that balance between the relationship and everything that matters to yourself. Of course, all relationships are like that. But I wish you the best with it, and I'm just going to say, try not to be walking on eggshells as much as possible, right? Because that just does not do any good. Honestly, it doesn't. Hello, Mr. Moth. Thanks for joining us. Oh, Linda Bishop, baking cinnamon rolls. So you saw I was on. Great. I've got some cinnamon rolls in the fridge, actually. They're not cinnamon rolls yet. It's like a tube of dough, cinnamon roll dough, and it says it's got icing in it as well. I'm going to make them really soon. I'm looking forward to those. So glad you could join us anyway. Yeah, great. Okay. Philip Corrigan. Let's go to Mr. Philip Corrigan. Nice to have you with us, Philip. Question. In a spiritual church where I go, they all hold hands in a circle. Lots of energy doing this. Yeah, I don't know if I've read that right, Philip. I'm not totally sure what the question is, right? But I've certainly got something to say about that. You've got to be happy with the energy, because in a circle, particularly in a spiritual church circle, people do pass energy around, and I've been there and done that, and sometimes it's been good and sometimes it hasn't felt so good, because sometimes people pass their heavy vibes around in the circle, you know. So only do it if you're happy to do it, Philip. Okay? And if you're not that happy to do it, but you don't want to upset people in the circle, just kind of give yourself some protection. Ask for protection. Ask that that energy just passes straight through you without affecting you, if that's giving you any sense of concern at all. Let me do a card for you, Philip, as well. I want to do a card on that. Get some more info, if I possibly can, because that's what we like to do here. And I just know you're going to love having a card from this deck. Okay, so I'm focusing on what you said there about energy going around. Now then, what can this deck tell us? Right, Bridget, inner strength. Okay. Now, for some reason, this card always makes me think of spiritual protection. I don't know why, but I'm glad it came up. Okay. Now, it's also a turquoise card. So there's the whole question of speaking your truth. And I'm not suggesting that you kind of lie. I'm not suggesting that you fake anything, but just put that wall of protection around yourself and let that energy pass through. You know, hold the intention that if any of the energy is heavy and going to bring you down, it just passes through you without rubbing off on you. Okay. Don't try to block it. Don't try to stop it, because it might actually be something that needs to happen to someone in that circle. That's how it goes, but maybe not you. Bridget is saying inner strength, move back to wholeness, recognize that you have the power. And you do, Philip. You wouldn't be in the circle at all if you didn't have some kind of powerful spiritual energy about you. Well, we all know on the channel you've got some powerful spiritual energy about you, okay? But yeah, it's no one's telling you to be false here. That's the last thing I would want to say. You know, never be false for sure. But just let that energy pass you by, Philip. Okay, if it's bothering you, and I feel that maybe it is. So be willing to just let it pass by. This is something that happens a lot with energy healers. It can take a lot out of you to be an energy healer, and it's always good, if you can, to let the energy healing flow through you without actually rubbing off on you. Particularly, I know someone who's an Amadeus shaman healer, does shamanic healing through the Amadeus method, and their method is to draw in the healing light, the healing energy through the crown chakra, straight out through the heart chakra, so it doesn't actually affect the healer. You know, that's one aspect of it. Also, if any of you guys, including you, Philip, if you're healers and you need to, sometimes we need to heal the healer, there's a wonderful crystal for that. It's called peridot, spelled peridot, P-E-R-I-D-O-T. I'll type it in. In fact, P-E-R-I-D-O-T. That is the name of that stone. They are tiny little stones as well. For some reason, it hasn't clicked up yet. Oh, see, I've got a real slow internet connection tonight, and it's taking its time to go through. There it is. It's gone up into the chat. So there we are. Okay, Sharon. Right, let's go. Sharon Lee. Can you describe my spiritual growth too? I liked Jeanette's question. Okay, I'll do my best. Right. Here's a deck I haven't used for a long time, and for some reason I'm going straight for the card here. I did it the other way around last time, didn't I? I used this deck in a 60-second tarot a few days ago. I don't use it much on the lives because the cards are like bigger than my hand, and I tend to drop them all over the place. But I'm drawn to pick this deck up. Okay, what have we got? I saw one there, and my guide said that one, and then I went on past it. Oh dear! Now I'm going to have to shuffle again to find that one. All right. I'd say it's a bit complicated, Sharon, from the feeling I'm getting at the moment. Your spiritual growth, unnecessarily complicated. There are unnecessary complications going on. And the card, which I can barely hold, which I've picked up here, is this one. It is the Two of Crystals. And this is essentially the Two of Pentacles in this deck, right? But the Two of Crystals obviously does have that that slightly different meaning that goes with the Syrian Starseed Tarot that we have here. And so essentially there's a balance to find, okay? There's definitely a balance to find. So yeah, that takes me back to the idea of things being more complicated than they need to be. Moving on, I've also got for you number 13, which is the Transition card. And this is from the Major Arcana. Now, number 13 in the Major, in many decks, is the Death card. And I'm always emphasizing it doesn't mean anyone's going to die. It's shutting out the old to bring in the new. And to make this oh, God, the camera keeps going off. I hope you guys can still see me. We've got a real bad connection tonight. Good spiritual connection, just not so good internet connection. Okay, you've got to kind of fly free, let yourself fly free of everyday life as much as you can, Sharon. Okay, something keeps pulling you back, something keeps drawing you down, and we'll do a third card on that, Divine Justice. Okay, the scales of Libra there almost, but the scales of balance, that's what it's really all about. Okay, so think about divine balance, spiritual balance, more than you think about how it all fits into this world. Because to be quite honest, spiritual progress, it actually does fit very well into this world, but there are a lot of influences in this world that try and stop anything spiritual from taking off. So you're saying, yes, you're trying to forge a new path. Great. Keep trying, Sharon. Okay, I'm sure you've got the angels with you on that. You know, I really feel strongly that there's an angelic connection going on. And you do have not just that guardian angel character, but you do have spirit guides working with you. You really do. For some reason, I'm going to do another card from a different deck. Right, yeah, Two of Cups, just confirmation that you've got the angels working with you there, okay? Sometimes when we're working with other people on a human level, other human beings around us, in the physical plane, things do get complicated. Jealousies creep in, things like that. Sometimes they're beautiful people and they don't want to be jealous, but the jealousy just kind of creeps in, you know. So don't worry about pleasing other people, Sharon. Okay, be as gentle as you can, but yeah, break out, forge a new path. That's what it's all about. It really is. Twainer, I saw you write something earlier about something had happened with your husband, and it sounded as if it was going well. I can't actually see it now, but where's the mouse? But I was really pleased to see it looked positive, whatever it was. Let's see if I can find it, because I really want to read that one out. Where can it be? Here we go. Yeah, I really wanted to read this one out because this is such good news. Click. There it is. My hubby is home after a quadruple bypass, walking, hitting the stairs, and no pain. Now that is just fantastic. You know, people can't help but worry before a thing like that, and I could feel it was giving you such concern. But there you go, Twain. That part of it has worked out. I realise there's other things he's going through, and that therefore you're going through too. But I'm so pleased that that's been working out. And that's just great news, because a bypass like that, it's hard on the body, and it does create worries. Really does. Oh, thank you, Julie, for donating. By the way, I'm very grateful, because you're a big supporter with that, and I appreciate it. The coffee donations really do help, guys, actually. And you can see it going along your screen there. There it is under my finger now. Coffee.com/twig. If that's tricky, on the banner above my YouTube homepage, there is a PayPal donate button, and it helps massively. I can't tell you how much it helps, guys. I really can't. It's absolutely brilliant. But Daisy is sending healing to your hubby, Twainer. And yeah, guys, let's all keep sending healing, okay? Doesn't matter if the guy's fine and, doing the dance of life, which I'm sure he is. You can never have too much healing. So let's keep on sending it, Let's keep on sending it. Hope your cinnamon rolls are going well, by the way. Okay. Lena Peridot is your birthstone. Good birthstone to have, actually. A very tiny stone, but they're beautiful things. I've got some here somewhere, and every now and again I kind of hold it and try and tune into it. Holly DeShane says, yes, Andy, her husband, Twainer's husband, will be fine. Great. This is another great thing about this. So many psychics on the chat there, you know, as well as me. This is brilliant. It all comes together. It all comes together. So, Sammy Joe Cat Lady. Hey, Twain. Hey to you as well. Thanks for joining us, Sammy Joe. I don't think I've met you before, and it's great to have you along. Okay, Sandy S. Like a card. Gosh, it's taken a long time for the whole StreamYard thing to work tonight. I think it's the weird stormy weather. There are storms all over Britain. Philip's obviously got rain going on there, and you know, I can hear the wind starting to blow outside again. We get into the eye of a storm. We had a lovely time this afternoon when it wasn't raining and it was warm out and everything. And now I can hear the storm clouds kind of gathering and starting to do their thing again. Okay, let's do a card for Sandy S. You know, I've got the tarot deck in my hand, but I feel... Right, messages from your animal spirit guides. This is the one we're going with. Haven't used this in the last couple of videos, but we'll do this one for Sandy S. Let's see what we get. This card deck is spookily accurate. It's by Stephen D. Farmer, who was married to Doreen Virtue and was wise enough to pull out. I don't suppose he's converted to Christianity. Well, at least I hope he hasn't. Okay, right, Sandy S, for you, we've got Mountain Goat, right? And this is good news in a lot of ways because it shows that you're going to be able to hang on, you know. Goats are really sure-footed, so you got a good footing in life, but it does say there's something out of balance in your life, so do whatever you need to do to correct it. And you see that? I hope the screen hasn't flipped it and you can read that easy enough. There's something out of balance in your life, so do whatever you need to do to correct it. And this is no criticism because, as I say, the card shows, in a way, success because you are hanging on, you're managing to hang on. And whatever life throws at you, you're going to be able to hang on. Always bear in mind, guys, it's a great spiritual truth that the universe throws nothing at us until we're actually ready and able to handle it. It often doesn't feel like that, but when life throws you something really difficult, you know, real curveball, just keep working at it, keep going at it, never give up because the universe knows that you've got it in you to somehow deal with that. Even if the answers aren't obvious, the answers will eventually come through. So thanks so much for that question, Sandy. Yes. Love the animal spirit deck. Yeah, me too. It's one of my favourites. It really is. Windy also in Bradford, Yorkshire. Can't say I'm surprised, actually. Hope nothing blows down. I really hope nothing blows down there or here, because the last thing I need is stuff blowing down here. So let's have a look at Linda Bishop's question. Andy, would it be dangerous for me to go into trance? 70 years of age, veggie, no major health issues, except lifelong asthmatic. Can easily do so. Right. With trance, right, the energy can get very heavy and it can be very draining. So I would say two things, okay? Well, it's three things, actually. The first thing is go for it, and I'll explain why in a second. The other thing is kind of always be aware that there's a limitation on it. Don't let people push you to do it again and again and again. If it's exhausting, you take a break in between trance sessions, a good break that needs the right length for that break is something only you know. But the third point, and this is why it's okay to go ahead with it, right? Everyone has got a gatekeeper, a special spirit guide who is a gatekeeper. And you need to work with that gatekeeper. Ask that gatekeeper, please, to make sure that you don't get overdrained and that you always get brought out of the trance before it starts draining you too much. I'm going to recommend a video, and I can't post a link to it here because I'd have to find it on YouTube first. But if you type in Gordon Higginson trance, and I'll type it in so you can see it. And look up this on YouTube. There's a wonderful trance session. Gordon Higgins and suddenly passed into spirit himself. I'm sure he'll be happy to be there because he's one of the best British mediums that there's ever been. It'll come up in a second. It's taking time to load tonight. But look for video of Gordon Higginson in trance on YouTube. It's wonderful how because it's trance, you can hear him talking to his guides. And of course, you can hear his guides speaking through him. And it's very clear how they bring him out of it before it gets too much, you know. And they will bring you out of it before it gets too much as well. And you've got a lot of love and light from the spirit people around you. And they always really appreciate physical mediums and trance mediums because you go that extra mile. And sometimes it's an extra 25 miles, but you go that extra distance to make it real and to make it good. So yes, go for it. Don't worry about your age. Don't worry about your diet. Great that you've got no health issues. Don't worry too much about the asthma either. You know, that's something they will work with you. They will know because you'll be their instrument and they'll check you out. In an early trance session I did, there was a lovely guide who came through, and she wasn't there to be a spirit guide as part of the trance session, really. She was there to kind of check me out and make sure I was all right before they really started getting stuck into working with me. It's a lovely woman. Tonya was her name. And, you know, they are very careful with you when you go into trance. The people you've got to watch out for, Linda, are people in this world who can... when they realize how much magic you're channeling, they can start wanting that magic for themselves, and it can become selfish and it can become difficult. And I did stop doing it at one point for that reason, Linda, you know, but try not to worry about it. And yeah, check out that video because it is a wonderful video. It really is. Hi, Liz Crafts. Liz Crafts is with us. Real glad you could join us. And Holly Deshane says, Linda B, control yourself in the trance. You can pull out whenever you need. That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. You know, we tend to think because we've given ourselves over to spirit and we're not really there. We've got our own consciousness has gone for a walk somewhere that we're not in control. But you can bring yourself out of trance. I've done that as well. You know. Okay. I just got a sign saying having trouble connecting. Please check your internet connection. So I'm going to quickly do that. Wired, cable unplugged. No, it isn't. The cable's plugged in, but the wireless is on. I've only got 62%, but the wireless is on, so I guess I'm still here. Hope I'm still here anyway, because it does look like one of those crazy nights. But Linda, you've done it in the past and spoke about 14. Well, sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, so I wish you the best with that, you know. Always protect yourself, Linda. Always ask the angels to protect you. Always ask your gatekeeper to make sure you're okay. But trance guides are very, very good. They have beautiful energy and they will always do their best to protect you. And sure, you can bring yourself out of it. Let's go, Sammy Joe, Cat Lady. Big, could you please draw a card on my cancer outcome if there is still time today? Sure, there's still time. Yeah, I have a terrible feeling this video might end up getting cut short because the internet is dropping out more tonight than it's ever dropped out. But at least I'm on. Sometimes it doesn't even drop in the first place. But yeah, Sammy Joe Cat Lady, let's keep going. Let's keep going with a card for you on your cancer outcome. Right, okay. 6 of Swords. A lot of mental turmoil, a lot of asking yourselves a lot of questions. I would imagine there's some fear around. You know, there's bound to be some fear around a thing like that. But let me bring the card up close. You, in this case, are Alice, right, who is sitting at the front of the boat looking backwards. And all Alice can see is rough waters and danger and difficulty. But the sheep shopkeeper, she's like your angel guide in this. They always have different meanings depending on who the card is drawn for. She's like your angel guide in this one, Sammy Joe, and she's looking forward and she can see smooth waters. So the spirit people can see smooth waters. They can see a good outcome. Okay. I don't actually feel it's going to be very long either. You know, what we've got here is this boat is just about to come into the smooth waters. Also, we've got a full moon in the picture, and so you know that indicates the moon cycle. So that's always a 28-day thing. So good times coming around most certainly, and also the trees are bare because there are going to be leaves on the tree. Okay, so everything you're going through now is going to balance out, and all the fears you've got are going to be replaced with joys. I think that's going to be fairly soon, Sammy Joe. God bless you with that. I wish you all the best of luck. And I've got to say to you, Sammy Joe, and to everyone, I massively believe in this. You know, I've seen this come true so many times. If I didn't believe in it, I wouldn't do it. But by law, by the general rules of being a medium, I have to tell you, I'm not a doctor. I can't promise anything. But that is the spiritual answer. That's what the cards are giving me there. And Sammy Joe says, I know it's a spiritual process, so I'm working on that. Great. I feel good about the surgery and follow-up. That's great too. Okay, that really feels like you've tuned in to the potential positivity, and as long as you do that, I don't think you've got to draw a positive outcome to it. I think a positive outcome is coming anyway, but the more positive you are about it, the more positive you feel about it, the less worry, the less concern, the better things are going to go. You know, they really are. Philip says, great energies tonight with the group on Andy's live show. Thank you, Philip. Yeah, there certainly are. I can well and truly feel those. And yeah, it's great. I enjoy these Sunday sessions. They don't always get as many views as the Wednesday ones, but the balance of YouTube, it's always up and down. But the point is the energy's good, you know. And if I had thousands of people on the chat, I wouldn't be able to answer everyone's questions. That'd go nowhere, would it? This is what it's all about. Okay, Virgo Queen. Andy, why have I been feeling so emotional lately? Right. Let's see. I think that's a 3-card question, to be quite honest. So let's cut the deck. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 10 of Cups. Now, this is the happy ever after card. And so you've been feeling emotional, right? But I think you'd be aware that things are going pretty good in some ways. And this would be why you're wondering why you would be feeling emotional. But this is what happens, you know. There's such a thing as endogenous depression. In other words, the feeling of depression that comes over us and there's no actual reason for it. In fact, the truth about depression is there never really is a reason for it. Sometimes you say to someone, I'm depressed. Now, so why are you depressed? That's the wrong question. Because there isn't really a reason, you know. But yeah, you're feeling like you should be feeling good. Well, concerns about the future show up here, okay, because this is the happy ever after card. But if you imagine, it's describing it as a relationship here. You imagine you've got into a relationship and you're happy, or a situation that you're happy with. So what do you do next? There's always got to be a plan. And I guess, Virgo Queen, you're slightly concerned, where is life going? Where are things going in the future that's going to allow you to have a real happy feeling? Well, the middle card is number 4 from the major arcana, and this is the Emperor, and the Emperor is about resources. Okay, and so I want to say that you have actually, you know, you've got the resources for things to go well in the future. And I'm moving along very quickly, I know, but I want to get to this one, because this is your outcome card on that question, Virgo Queen. This is the 3 of Cups, right? And this says there's going to be an upward spiral. Again, like all the tarot cards, it says something a bit different for every different person that it gets drawn for. And in your case, upward spiral, things looking very positive. So you're not going to be feeling bad for any length of time. Emotions are a positive thing to actually have and to recognize and to live with and work with, you know. I'm sure you wouldn't want to be emotional, but there's just, it's like a subconscious concern. All right. Part of your subconscious mind knows that things aren't set up as perfectly as you'd like them to be, basically. And part of your subconscious mind, for that reason, is tweaking on your conscious mind, you know. But, you know, you're going to be okay. It's looking good. It's looking very, very positive in the very near future, Virgo Queen. So I totally wish you the best with that. I really do. Okay. Twainer, I see people saying good night, Twainer, so I'm going to say good night to you, Twainer, or good afternoon, good evening, whatever. But great if you are. Here we go. Just popped in to feel the wonderful energy, going to hang out with my hubby. Yeah, hey, all the very best to you, Twainer, and give your husband my best regards from me and from all of us on the group. We all send love and light and healing and hugs to you and your husband as well. All the best, and thanks very much for joining us, Twainer, and thanks for giving us that lovely news that things are going well. Really great to know. Holly Deshane says, thank you so much for your time. It's been very calming for me. I'm glad to hear it, Holly. That's the way I like it to be. And thanks for your input as well. So, okay. Okie dokie dokie. Right. I'm just scrolling a bit looking for questions, so I'm bound to have missed someone's question because I always do. Okay. Philip Corrigan says, me and my spiritual guides sending healing to everyone tonight. Great. Wonderful. Can feel it. Can feel that contribution, Philip. Thanks. It's wonderful. Okay. I'm just going to take a quick break from answering questions. I'll come back and do some more in a bit, but it's always good to just kind of let the energy build up. Hi, Liz Crafts. You will be the next card. In fact, I'll put you on the screen so I don't forget. And hi, Priya. Really glad you've joined us. Nicola Quinter is here. Evening all. Hope you're well too, Nicola. And good evening to you. Yeah, right. I'm just going to stop the readings for a second to let the energy build up again. And yeah, I said this in the video the other day, actually, but I think it's worth saying it again. In recent times, I haven't done as many videos because all these storms we have keep destroying my garden, and I'm desperately trying to grow enough vegetables for at least a good long time. I don't think I can feed myself for a year because the potatoes keep frosting up and dying. But I'm really trying to get as much homegrown food as I can, because it's wonderful when you grow your own food. You know, there's no weird stuff being added to it, you know. So I make my own bread, and I choose the flour carefully, and I know that my bread hasn't got any weird stuff in it. It's there's two sides to it. You know, one thing is knowing that there's no weird stuff in it, so it's healthy, and the other side to it is just knowing that, you know, it gives you a buzz. You feel better about life. It's great. So I keep working on that garden because it's so important to me. And this sadly means I haven't had as much time to make videos as I'd like to have. It should be easy by now, but we've had all this wacky weather, and I keep having to kind of dig new holes and plant new things and earth things up for them to get blown over by the wind again. But I'm really determined to keep the progress rolling with this channel, which has grown exponentially in the last few months. It took me from 2017 until just before Christmas to reach 1,000 subscribers. There's another 888 subscribers since then, in about half a year. So the progress is wonderful. I've got some new lighting. Very soon there'll be a new studio corner. I'm working on setting it up at the moment, and as soon as I possibly can, we will get back to the days when I was doing a video every day. There'll be a proper good reading every day. Meanwhile, you know, there's always 60-second tarot. I enjoy those, and I think you guys do too. Excuse me. So with that, let's take a big drink of water. Oh, crazy weather with you too, Nicole. Yeah, I bet it seems to be everywhere at the moment. Something to do with the jet stream and low pressure. Anyway, let's do a card for Liz. Angel card for Liz Crafts. Okay, angel card for Liz Crafts. Let's go. Let's go, go, go. Okay. Whoa, Nathaniel. Passion. Okay. Now then, I seem to remember you sort of saying you can be quite kind of quite passionate in your pursuit of what's important to you in life. And I feel you've maybe been crossed again, Liz. I know there were a lot of people kind of crossing your path and not being entirely fair to you a couple of months ago. I think maybe that's still a thing. I really do. Your heart seems to be on fire here. But keep on being you, Liz. That's the most important thing. Okay, we can see 3 pentagrams swimming towards you there as well, joining up with the big pentagram, which is your heart. So just keep on being you, okay? And don't take any SHIT off anybody, Liz. Okay, I'm saying okay a lot, aren't I? Next card here is balance. And this is the way to find balance. Sometimes you've got to be quite fiery to get things happening. And that is what we've got here. We've got fire in the heart here. So that fire in the heart is no bad thing, you know. It's there to lead you through to a more balanced life. A more balanced experience of life. That's what I want to say. Okay, Liz, so there is your card, and thanks for your question. Linda Bishop says, I have green tomatoes, carrots coming up, feel an urgent need to grow food as much as I can. Yeah. Hope no major problems coming up for us worldwide. Well, I think eventually, yeah, but who knows? I think the world's in a better situation than we realize. I don't see big food shortages anytime really soon. But, you know, I think at some point, yeah. I think if we worried about that too much at the moment, it would be a bit like when everyone was stockpiling loo rolls, toilet paper rolls. I had all under my bed was stuffed with packets of TP. And I didn't have to buy any more for about a year, but it was still in the shops, you know. Christina, Andy, can I have a card for Ivan and me for the next month? You sure can? You sure can? I can just separate it out. Oh, it's this one. It's this one, right. Balancing act, juggling act. I do hope you can see that because my screen went blank there for a moment. It's the 2 of Pentacles. It's the Mad Hatter juggling these amazing pentacle watch things. So there's a juggling act with time, you know. And, yeah, I mean, it's for the next month, certainly that's the issue. But look at balancing things out long term, okay? Try and make that a more long term. Try and find long-term solutions, even if problems that you might be having seem like short term. Try and find long-term solutions. Have your eyes on the prize, have your eyes on the future, and keep going in that positive direction as best you can. Okay, so a juggling act, most certainly. Let's go to Priya. Hey, Priya, glad you could join us. Will I get a job offer from Cinecorn? Oh, I've said that right. Please, will you get a job offer from them, please? Let's find out. That is a good, very good pendulum question, is that? Actually, okay, yes, Sammy Joe, passion is cool, yeah, and yeah, that's going to serve Liz very well, I think. Priya, will she get a job offer, please, from that company I can't pronounce? Okay, pendulum's just twirling on its string there to get into the energy. It's a yes. I'm listening for more. I think you're going to hear about it quite soon as well. I don't know if you've even applied for it yet, but I feel like, you know, there's an imminent answer, and that was a yes. I want to say, right, it might begin with a no, but they'll keep you on their books for the future, you know, but you're going to, if you haven't impressed them yet, you're going to impress them when the time comes, and they are going to want to have you on board pretty soon, okay? I think that's going to work out pretty soon. I really do. Okay. Kerry Gibson, food from the garden tastes so much better than store-bought. Yeah, 100%. Especially tomatoes. Yeah, and you love my garden. Thank you. I love my garden too. But, you know, you guys are so lucky to be having tomatoes. I cannot grow tomatoes here in West Wales from seed anyway. I'm going to buy some from a garden centre sometime like late June, late next month. That's just how I do it. I cannot grow the things from seed. We just haven't got the climate for it in Wales, the UK. Lena wishes she get a garden, but doesn't want to feed the deer or the bears. Fair point. We are blessed not to have bears wandering about in UK. But I know they're a thing. There's a friend of mine I used to talk to on Twitter who lives in Dalton in Georgia. And one night she said, just a minute, there's a bear at the door. And she went and rattled something to make the bear go away. And I said, there's really a bear at the door. She said, yeah, they stand up and they've learned to knock on the door because they know people will open the door and then they can, have their wicked way, whatever these bears want to do. But it doesn't sound like very much fun. And wow, what a scary thought. What a scary thought. That is really that would worry me a fair bit, I think. I'm now looking for Foxbuck's question because I would love to do that one. Hi, Jules C, by the way. Hi, Foxbuck, even. May I have a card? Yes, you most certainly may, Foxbuck. Okay. Where am I going? Ascended Masters, that's where I'm going. Okay. Let's see what the Ascended Masters have to offer us. Okay. Just give these a shuffle. It's a lovely deck by Doreen Virtue. It's quite old now. And it's quite powerful. It's like this deck has been like, sanctified by years of readings. All right, 2 cards came out. 2 cards came out. Foxbuck, so you're getting 2 cards. Work Your Magic, Saint Germain. Wow, amazing character. He wasn't a Christian saint. He was the Count of Saint Germain, an area of France. He was also someone Merlin reincarnated as Saint Germain. Very, very magical character. So work your magic, Foxbuck, okay? Maybe you've been going through a time when life doesn't always feel magical, does it? And this happens because if we kept going at the full pace of the potential for magic that we have, we'd just burn out really quickly. So sometimes the magic feels like it's dropped out. Actually, what's happened is our spirit guides are giving us a break. But work your magic. It's time to get back on the horse with Saint Germain and work your magic. Okay, look at those eyes. Work your magic, so important. And the other card, which came out at the same time, they came out together, Krishna, find the blessings in your current situation. And this would be a good way to sort of bring the magic back up again, bring the magic back in. Think about your current situation. If things aren't ideal, and let's face it, they're never ideal for any of us, it's part of the human condition, then try to sort of move back to wholeness by finding the blessings in your current situation. There will be some, yeah? There really will be some. I can't emphasize that enough. So I hope that helps, Foxbuck. Keep on keeping on. I think that's how I'd sum that one up. Keep on keeping it on. But maybe do a little meditation, something like that. Even if it's just 5 minutes, burning some incense or lighting a candle and tuning in. Just be aware that magic never leaves you. It never goes away. And as much as the magic is something that comes around us from the spiritual realms, it's something we have within us that actually answers that, We all have this spark of light at the core of our being. And if we focus on that to expand it, it will join up with the universal light. And then we will be back in business. So best of luck with that, folks. And thanks for your question. Sammy Joe asks, how many decks do you have? Wow. Well, I do have a lot. Let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got 12 around me, and I've 13, so I've got 13 decks around me. That's a good number, isn't it? There is a number to conjure with. And I've also got a big box in the corner with all the decks that I don't use very often. And I always used to work with 2 or 3 decks. It's all I had. And since YouTube, I've got more decks. And one reason, really, that YouTube readers hoard decks is because we like to keep it interesting. We like to have some variety, And so that's a good excuse to buy lots of decks. Sometimes people send us decks as well. And I'm always grateful to receive them, I'm not going to say you can never have too many decks, because generally speaking, it's a wonderful thing to have one deck that you really get in tune with and use all the time. This is the closest I've got to that one. It is the Tarot in Wonderland deck. I use this for nearly all my readings, nearly all of them. But I like to have different decks because I like to use Oracle as well. And Oracle decks go into lots of different specific areas. So it's worth having several Oracle decks, most certainly. But mainly I use Tarot in Wonderland because that's just where it's at. That's where I've been drawn to, Hi, Earth Mama. Glad you're with us. decks are so different now. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. And yet one of the decks in my box, which I can't bring out and show you, is the Ancient Tarot of Marseille, which is the first tarot deck I ever owned, actually. And it's wonderful deck. Magical things happened with it. It was great. But the images on it are like nothing compared to what we've got now. And I love these pictorial images, you know. They say so much. Alice with a pink flamingo. That, believe it or not, is the Chariot. Doesn't look like the Chariot, does it? But it is. It's going places. And we're all going places. I think that's a good card for everyone here. But yeah, we are tarot card hoarders. We really are. I quite admire Celtic Tarot Sheila. She always seems to stick to the same deck. And Whimsy always seems to, Oracle of Whimsy, she always seems to use the Rider-Waite. There's a lot of wisdom in that. There really is. Because I reckon you can actually have too many decks. That's what I'm saying, too many decks. Okay, Beverly, let's do a card for your week. For Beverly Spencer. Here we go. I'm bringing out another one of my 13 decks that I've got around me. Okay. Right. Card for your week, Beverly. It's the Wheel of Fortune. Kind of random, that one, isn't it? I feel you're going to be probably running around in circles. You're probably going to feel as if you're never going to get anywhere. But as you get towards the end of the week, things are good. That wheel basically is going to stop spinning, and you're going to get to choose where you jump off it. So think about that, Beverly, as you go through the week. Think, like, where do I want to be? Not just at the end of the week. Like, where do I want to be in 5 years? Where do I want my life to take me? Because the decisions coming up for you this week are all about that. Major one decision. So have that in mind. Meditate on that, where you want to be going. Okay, Beverly, because something happens this week that really gets things moving. And actually, another card that came out at the same time, 8 of Swords. And that's the old thing where you can kind of stay where you are or you can move on. And it's much better to move on, really, Beverly, because you never know when the circumstances are actually going to move you on anyway. And if you're in charge of the moving on, so much the better. So much the better. Okay. Now then. Okay, Jules C. I will certainly do you a card for the week. We are getting late in the show now, guys, and the energy's dropping. So these are going to be very quick cards for people, okay? But let's go back to Tarot and Wonderland for Jules C. Thanks for your question. You've been doing, yeah, you have been doing, thinking about moving, Beverly. Best of luck with that. Best of luck with that, really. And you be the one that makes the choice, okay? You choose what you want, Beverly. You deserve to choose what you want. You really do. Jules C. Number 2, the High Priestess. There it is. Things are ready to happen for you, Jules, but you're wondering if you're really up to it. You're wondering if you can actually have what you really want. The energies are right for it now. Okay, it might not feel like that. It might feel that what you want is beyond your wildest dream, but reach out and go for it. Okay, because the meaning of this card here, we've got Alice trying to climb in the window, and she's wondering if she can get in. But the what's her name? Sorry, the High Priestess is there. The High Priestess will let her in. And behind the pink curtain here, there's a journey. There's an unknown journey. Okay, but you will be able to make it to the other side of that journey. You will get through. Yeah. Erin's son Lisa, thank you kindly, is saying, if you'd like a personal reading from Twig Brother, please email me here, 35and83@gmail.com. That is going along the bottom of your screen at this very moment, along with the address for my coffee page. If you'd like to buy me or buy the channel a coffee, please head over there. You can see some images of my life, and you can donate as well, which is always very welcome if you can manage to do that. Always greatly appreciated. And big love and light and thanks to all you guys who donate. I really appreciate it. Okay, Sunny Joe says Andrea from Lilac Lantern Tarot is making her own deck. They are a little strange to me, but so creative. Well, yeah, there's always room for a new deck, you know. I really think there is. I used to swear by just using the Ancient Tarot of Marseille, and that was in the 1980s when there weren't many to choose from. But I didn't even want to go into the Rider-Waite because I didn't trust the pictures and the images. But gosh, I'm glad I've overcome that and managed to keep going. I really have. Let's do Selena's question at this point. Andy, will Y go back to D even though she knows the relationship with him was toxic? Let's find out. Pendulums, what do they know? Do they know things? Let's find out. Am I the only person on this channel who watches BoJack Horseman? Getting a yes to that, Selena. I'm getting a yes to that. Thing is, she believes so strongly in it. You know, and the key to it was that relationship was toxic. There is hope for it becoming untoxic. You know, sometimes when people break up, and I feel that this is the case here, Selena, that breakup, the fact that they're not been together has been a wake-up call for someone, you know. And it's important that she only goes back if she's got good intentions of making it less toxic, or untoxic altogether would be even better. And I feel she does have those intentions, actually. Yeah, Thoth deck, amazing deck, Sunny Joe. I do have one, actually. I don't use it all that much, but I do have one. I certainly do. Right, guys. We are moving towards the end of the show at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a card for everyone who is watching tonight, and it's going to be a chakra card. I haven't used this deck for a while. Might as well use it. It's here. This is Rachel Sharman's chakra reading deck. Chakra reading cards, she calls it, but it is a deck of cards. Okay, now the chakras are a wonderful way of dealing with and seeing and understanding spiritual energy, because all the different chakras, when we get them beautifully lined up, they link us to the Earth Star chakra beneath our feet, and they link us to the Stargate chakra, the Soul Star chakra, the Stargate chakra, and on into the higher energies of the angels and the universe. So it's really good to keep our chakras in balance. And so this is a chakra card for everyone who's watching right here and right now. I'll give them a good shuffle, actually. I really feel I want to be quite kind of careful with this. Okay. That's true, Sheila, Inquisitive Tarot. Thoth isn't as scary as you have heard. Just cards. That's true. I'd be so wary of linking into Aleister Crowley's energy. He was not a nice man. He really wasn't. He might be spiritually powerful, but I've always tried to shut him out myself. But yeah, they are. You know, they're tarot cards and they're well researched, and it is a good deck. You know, no problem with that. Guys, this is the card, and it's psychic development. And it's the third eye chakra. It's that indigo color that goes with the third eye chakra. And what we've got here is hands holding up a crystal ball. And you see that character in the distance walking off through the far reaches of the crystal ball towards the sun. That, my friends, is you. Each and every one of you has that in you. Okay? Never give up on that. That's the message, really. Psychic development is most certainly happening. Now, I know a lot of you guys have done a lot of psychic development. And I would think, actually, you would agree with me that that psychic development never needs to stop. The more you do, the further you can go. There are absolutely no limits. That's how the universe operates, you know. We are dealing with superhuman energy, the energy out there of the universe. And it has to come into us slowly. It takes its time. But always keep reaching for the skies, you know, the skies within yourself and the skies of the whole universe, because you can always keep going. You can always be going places. You really can. Okay, guys. Now then, Oliver, my friend, I got to be honest, right? I would do you a reading, right? But at this point, I sort of feel the energy going down, and I'm just not all that good at readings once that happens, and I would hate to get it wrong. What I'm going to do is a very quick pendulum reading, okay? Very quick. This will just be a yes or no. This Virgo lady, will you be meeting her in the future? Okay, I feel it's a yes, Oliver. That's what I feel psychically. Let's see what the pendulum gives me. Yeah, it's a very, very slow circle. I think this is some time away, Oliver, but the thing to do, my friend, is to keep asking the angels and your guides, but visualize that it can happen and it will happen, because I do feel that was a yes, and I've had a yes on this before, and I do feel that eventually it will happen. I really do. Yeah. But Sheila, I block him out and read the cards. Good for you. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. Because the fact is, you know, he was a great scholar of ancient Egyptian magic, and he did a lot of good research. It's an absolute fact. And yeah, the Thoth deck are good cards. They are, you know, can't fault it. I've done some very accurate readings with them, actually. But yeah, Oliver, thank you. You're very welcome. But yeah, if you join us a bit earlier in the show, okay, we're live on Wednesdays and Sundays at 3 p.m. Central USA time. Okay, if you can join us like a bit earlier in the show, if you catch me in the first half hour or so, I tend to be on fire and it tends to be going places. And Martin 958 is here as well. Thanks for joining us. Hello to you. And Lisa says, thank you for being here and for reading for us. Your spirit work is really appreciated. Yours too, Lisa. Yours too, all the admins and moderators. I really appreciate you guys. Sharon Cyber's in the place. Hi to you. Everyone's coming in now. But guys, I've got to bring the thing to a close, I'm afraid. Just running out of energy here. But don't forget, right, keep it real, keep it twig, brother. Hit the subscribe button, because we're going back to videos every day, and that's coming up really soon. I mean, in-depth videos. We'll keep the 60-second tarots going as well, because they seem popular, and I'm aiming to do those 1 p.m. UK time, which is 7 a.m. Central USA time, so you can wake up to those in USA. There'll be another one of those tomorrow. There'll be another live, same time, same place, same bat time, same bat channel on Wednesday. I look forward to seeing you all again then. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great rest of your day, or if you're in UK, have a great night ahead of you. Write your dreams down. Keep dreaming those dreams. Never give up. And I'll see you again very soon, my friends. Peace. Bye-bye.